Yeah, I had to fix. Bait and switch, baby. Yeah, but back to my point, I guess. The On YouTube, I kind of violate some of their no words. Like I don't censor myself in a sense to saying sewer side or PDF. I mean, I'll say I think I say PDF file just unironically, but pedophiles are that's a real problem. Or gray, stuff like that because I think it's dangerous to limit your language. It's how people essentially reach to a conclusion of like this is how I should speak in real life. I think that is generally my take on it. So it is kind of interesting that X I tell someone to rip their arteries and their response is 7-day ban, which is just kind of funny, more or less. Because there's not really. It's interesting. Am I live? Okay, yeah. I guess I can always let Nostra know that I am loving and respectful, and I'm live. I don't have really anything besides Twitter on my desktop. I would never. I would hate the idea of constantly logging into every single social media platform I'm on. I would go insane if it was everywhere. Cool. Okay. Let's look. Firefox. Where are you? Billy's site, alive and well. Based, actually. Stormy Cloud doing its job. Not Bob doing its job. Whatever the fuck that is. Very cool, very based. What did they name this stream again? There was a reason. Yes, privacy validation is why you should verify. We're going to look at app verification. This is something that a lot of people will kind of like forget and don't realize that first off the when it comes to the Android, I updated it. You should refresh. Oh well, I'm refreshing. Let's see what Billy switch from ITP Plus to ITPD. Welcome to Billy. Maybe you should learn how to make different pages so you can have different, like different blogs. You just update your. It's like you're doing a status with like Facebook or something. It's kind of funny. Interesting. Okay, I'll have to come back to that. So, the Aurora story is kind of like sought after. My Eve site is alive and well. Woohoo! Yeah, it is alive and based. Hopefully, you're running on FreeBSD. Otherwise, you'll have to do age verification straight up. Applications that you get from the Play Store generally have a higher source integrity, meaning that when you download them, you you can be pretty sure that it is from a trusted source. I believe they have to be signed um, in order to even be released. This obviously doesn't prevent from malicious, terrible people making applications and releasing them on the Play Store. It just makes it that you know it's coming from a trusted source, versus like where F-Droid, F-Droid, you are kind of entrusting them to do the signature verification, making sure that it's not like an untrusted source. The Aurora Store, you're kind of like just gambling at that point, and you don't know how it is verified. This is like generally a universal. Hey, what's going on? This is generally a universal. Let's discuss Motorola's support for the Graphene OS. I actually think that it's good in the terms of device release, but it's going to be on their flagship phones. Their flagships could be fucking expensive, so the price doesn't go away. And someone did bring out a good point that it is owned by Lenovo. Lenovo is owned by Motorola is owned by Lenovo. Lenovo is owned by the Chinese government essentially. So there is some fair points on the internet that are making that this is a cool partnership in terms of like reachability, and maybe it will trickle down to their less expensive devices, though they probably won't, because they have to meet a specific set of standards. It's going to go on their flagship phones. So is it cool? Sure. But is it cool as in like people are going to get a cheap, inexpensive phone with Graphene OS on it? Probably not anytime soon. Like, the partnership is cool, and I'm glad that Lenovo removed sodium from the T90s. I don't think Lenovo is like the worst company on the planet. I think people though do have to understand it's there is some if you genuinely if you go back and look at Superfish, I mean it's a perfect example, but I think if you genuinely care about some level of privacy and security and like where you purchase your device from, you have to take that into consideration, who owns it and who's manufacturing it. Now, if Motorola, obviously, if Motorola is the best option that they had because they're willing to do the majority of the work, that is something that I commend them for. I think it's cool. But they're not dropping the Pixel series. I'm not going to go away from the Pixel series. I think it's the superior option. I already have 7 years. I have 6 more years of updates. I would only get a Motorola if YouTube's monetization, like the monetization from YouTube, would pay for it. And people would want to test it before they bought it. But I'm not really I'm not in the business to do buy this and then review it and suggest it, because I think it's really a personal choice. I think people's criticism that it's built on Pixel devices has always been gay and lame. To be completely transparent, everyone always has this, there's these invisible boards on there that are listening to you, and there's a backdoor. It's just unrealistic. And I'm gonna have a rant sometime in the near future, maybe in the next couple weeks, where I kind of like go back to like me just yelling into the camera. My strongest distaste for like the privacy and security, even community, let alone the Linux community, I hate nothing more than talking to very out of touch schizophrenic people on the internet that do more harm than good. Like, you try to have a normal conversation, like are there threats that exist that are very insane sounding? Yes. Are they your threat though? No. And then they just don't want to hear it. They're like, look, I know about this super crazy exploit that does XYZ to your phone, and it's just I don't care. It's like talking to anyone about Intel management system. I think these people are unproductive. They hurt the community more. They're generally the worst types of people to talk to because they're on YouTube. So like, if you care about privacy that much, like to that extreme, about these insane exploits, you shouldn't have be on YouTube. And then they say they're playing 4D chess, like 5D chess. They're like, well, I'm not on a personal device, and I have a burner email. And it's like, okay, but YouTube gathers enough information about you anyway, so it doesn't really matter what you say. You are trackable, and to a certain degree, like, you have a point that there are many identifiers that is collecting information against you. Like, they come with like something that's really like, they take like a pile of shit and there's like a note of truth in there, and then they just kind of run with it. And it's like very like lame conversation to generally have. I mean, if somebody brings up to me in like a cool way, like, hey, like, your keyboard can actually listen, your gaming keyboard can be exploited, and your typing can be like decoded from like the way that the sound is for K is different on this keyboard and specific, like, shit like that. It's cool. It's cool to discover, but is it a real threat to like the vast majority of people? Probably not. That's cool to talk about, but generally it's like the schizophrenic people that are like, and I generally think 90% of the time they're bots on the internet, or they're really just trolls, or like just maybe really out of touch people that maybe need to take some like medication, like Seroquel or something before they inevitably go out into the public, because it's kind of like, it's like it clogs up resources that like could be used where it's like should be like more productive. And that's like my general distaste is or they'll suggest like the most extreme. They're like, remove your sensors. Like, this person on Twitter was like, they're like, look, buy the Nitro phone from, like, I like Nitro Key, like Nitro Key, the company. I like them. I think they do good work. I like their products. I think they're relatively security conscious, security minded. They're very rational. But people are like, buy their Graphene OS version of phone that's double the price, and all they do is just remove like certain components. When Graphene OS, the developers themselves have explicitly stated that software microphone muting and camera muting is probably in airplane mode is efficient. Airplane mode is efficient. There's no evidence that it can be bypassed. If it can be bypassed, your phone's exploited anyways. They can gather information different ways. It's a security theater at the core. That's why switches are security theater. Clippy, yes. All Clippies assemble. And the problem with this security theater is it ropes people into, again, always paying attention to stuff that doesn't improve their security and privacy because they don't understand their threat model. And if they don't understand their threat model, they are wasting time worrying about Intel management system and hardware switches, when the vast majority of pretty much the baseline majority could be solved with very easy security hygiene, OPSEC hygiene, understanding OPSEC, understanding security at a fundamental level. Like, go pick up a book, like, even go pick up security. You don't have to be a programmer. You don't have to be a security engineer by day or night or whatever. But pick up how this stuff works, how Android operates. Android is very immutable in the software sense, because that's the point. That's why rooting it degrades the security. I mean, you can't change Android. There's things in Android that are immutable from a software sense. That's what makes it more secure. In a layman's term, if you really think about it, like, I can't go in there and go root or change anything, and that's what makes it more secure. In a sense, I mean, I'm like really dumbing it down and like putting in a layman's term. This is why, like, when you like, if you think about it in a very basic understanding, when you have like applications like Graphene OS, simple perfect example. When you have Graphene OS and you have, like, let's say Facebook and Instagram, they can collect enough identifiers to know who you are. Like, this is your device, this is the same person, blah blah blah. But that doesn't mean those applications are talking to each other. You have to give explicit permission. That's like a good like this is like the best example I could give. Um, because of the due to the sandboxing nature, due to how Android works, and this is like just built into the system. Applications can't talk to each other. Very simple. Without explicit permission. They can't just share data. But Facebook and Instagram know you're using the same email and the same IP address and the same geolocation on the same hardware identifier. All these things point to your, this is probably the same person. That's the easiest way to explain it. And how do you fight that? Like, how do you mitigate that? Well, you use two different emails. You do put them on two different profiles. You use a VPN with one and a VPN with not the other one. You got to start with changing your habits, and that's like where verifying your software is like very important, and not even just verifying your software, but coming at privacy rationally. The very extreme people are the worst people to talk to, and the very lax people are the very worst people to talk to. They're always at the opposite ends. Like if you're too lax and you care about privacy, you can't achieve it. If you're too extreme, you suck, and no one's going to listen to you. Are you bringing valid points to like either side? Absolutely. I mean, valid points on both sides. Like if you have like a group of friends and you can't convince them to use Signal, which would be lame, then you need to find a different way to approach it. I only answer Signal messages. I answer Signal messages first. You can even go that far. You don't have to say like, they're like, well, if you want to reach me on Monday, anything after 3 p.m., that's when you're gonna get your answer, because I am not answering this until 3 p.m. Like you can make what I would call privacy and security boundaries, and those boundaries are very important to have. And once you set them, they're very easy to, in a sense, they're very easy to follow. Like take out your notes, whatever notes system you want to use. If you want to do it all on, what do you call it? What's the one that everyone? If you want to do it all in NeoVim, sure, that's all right. But the most important part is setting these boundaries, having a system, and sticking to it. Just like the application store. I know a lot of people like F-Droid. F-Droid, you are putting a lot too much trust into them in a sense that there's making sure boundaries are very important to have everywhere. Yeah, you should have boundaries everywhere. In all aspects of life, you should always have boundaries. Because if you don't, you really are setting yourself up for failure. And if, like I said, if you listen to the extreme, and the thing is, a lot of people in this space, they're not going to let me. A lot of these people in this space, oh, that's good. RISC-V, yeah, RISC-V would be based. RISC-V is cool. It's not fully open source. I think it's like more open. It's just not. It's not as usable right now. But it's getting there, and I embrace it. I want us to have more open source and a more open ecosystem. Does open source mean more secure and more private? No, not really. I mean, Canonical as proprietary blobs in Ubuntu, but Canonical is a company at the end of the day. Red Hat, IBM. They're in the open source ecosystem, but they're not like this super anonymous, private, super crazy company that that's. Maybe this. Keep Android open. Has their own Eve site. Nice. Based. Damn! Okay. Since he's fucking retards. Um... I think Android needs to stay open. I'm 110% for it. I don't think there's a reason you shouldn't. We don't need another Apple, to be completely honest. I don't like Apple for a lot of reasons. You are giving Apple way too much trust at the end of it, and not only you're giving Apple way too much trust, you are entrusting that Apple will never go rogue. You are entrusting that Apple will never go back on their word. They are a company. They can change their policies. It's not really the point. Let's look at Android licensing. Now the good thing is, like, you can. The good thing is you can actually with the with Graphene OS because they are not certified, they will not be affected by this. Does that mean that I think everyone should go buy a Pixel and use Graphene OS? Of course, but does that mean everyone will and everyone has the money, etc., etc.? No. Because Graphene OS is not certified, this is a benefit. They do not have to listen to this. They will not be affected by this. This is why it's based. But other people in Android, have you set up your own ITP channel? IRC. I tried the other day. I ran into some goofy stuff, but I will. It will happen at some point. Trademark meeting maybe like 3 months from now. I have a lot of stuff going on in the background right now that I have to take care of first. To put it lightly. Okay. Oh, we can look at code signing. And the thing is, I know a lot of people really recommend the Aurora Store because they just don't want to have Google around, and they just have this fear. But the Aurora Store uses Google. Like, that's like saying I don't want to use Google, so I'm going to use Micro G. Guess what, buddy? Guess what you're still using? Guess what you're still touching? But there's less verification. So a good way that someone explained it is a good way that this was explained to me is Google knows you entered the store. That's it. They just know you entered it. They don't know who exited. The Aurora Store doesn't know who exits, but they can't verify what's in that store. Google knows what's in the store. They know you entered. That's all. Aurora Store and like F-Droid, you enter the store. They don't know what's in the store. You're entrusting it, and then they didn't know you entered. They know you exited. You know what I mean? So like, They don't. I thought I might set up my own ITP XMP server through and Paracity and Mod Darknet. I'll have to check that out. If you could link something, that'd be cool. So just keep that in mind. A lot of people will be like, the Aurora store is anonymous, an anonymous login. So you can get an anonymous Google account. This is very simple. If you have an Android sitting at home, if you have an Android, thanks. If you have an Android sitting at home, you can. All you have to do is go to the Play Store, not the Play Store. Go to the web browser, VPN, do it on fucking public Wi-Fi, whatever. You most likely will not get, and make sure you remove your SIM card. You will not get you will not trigger a forced SMS authentication most of the time. But it's not concrete. It's not consistent. It's never going to be consistent. Google determines this on the back end. Is this a bot? Is this malicious? Is this a person making 30 accounts? Whatever. There's no way to determine what Google is doing in the background, when it's going to do it, what's going to trigger it, etc., etc. But let's say worst case scenario number pops up. SMS pool works if you do not care about the Google account. That works. I confirmed it works. I did it more than once. The second option, you can, for more permanent option, you can use Silent Link. Silent Link is great. It's a little bit more expensive. It's about $100. You get data. I've used it. I've used it for. Do you use Graphene OS? Yeah, absolutely. I will never go back to stock Android unless Graphene OS goes rogue. Like Graphene OS, the entire company would have to go super schizoid against like my core values. They would have to fuck up pretty bad, and then I would just go to a Linux phone at that point. I know I'm losing the security of Graphene OS. I know I'd be losing the security of Graphene OS, but I would just, at that point, I would just do a Linux phone, and I'd be okay with it. And I would never do banking on it or anything, or you know, and trust that my text messages. I would have to. My thing is, my only requirements is Signal supported. Is Signal supported? And that's like really the big one. And can I have the same level of, like, really Signal, to be honest, because I don't like SMS. Is Signal supported, and can I have the same level of smoothness when it comes to support? Yep, I linked the documentation. Thanks. If I can have the same level of smoothness when I'm if I'm watching videos, can I listen to my music? Will the applications that I have work on there? Stuff like that. That I don't really have a high threshold for applications where I need 50 million applications, but oh yeah, and 2FA and Password Manager. Password Manager, 2FA, Signal. That I use Molly, but I'm just using it interchangeably. Those are the requirements. That's all I need to. If you were like, hey, I'm going to only give you a phone that has these applications, that's all I need. I need my Password Manager. I need my Notes should work everywhere. I'm not really worried about that. I need Signal, Password Manager, and maybe like 2 or 3 more apps for like 2FA, etc. to work. That's all. That's all I need. And they all work on Graphene OS. So I don't need to go anywhere else. And the Pixel, 7 years of support. I would like to make sure that I get long-term security updates and support. That would be amazing. But I'm gonna take it at face value. But if I need some kind of YubiKey app, oh, what's up, man? So the closest to YubiKey, to be completely honest, I use Aegis. Aegis is cool. I wish Nitro. I don't know why Nitro, the Nitro key, I don't know why Nitro doesn't have a mobile app. To be completely honest, it's needed. Also need Instagram and White Cobalt to download dank memes. Just get where what do you call it? What's the name? Um, I use Infinity with for Reddit. I pay. I mean, I pay for it. I don't think I would ever go to Instagram for memes. To be honest, I just go to Reddit or like 4chan. Aegis is good, but I use YubiKey for MF. Yeah, I switched. I got away from YubiKey. JK. I got away from. I actually got away from YubiKey because it's proprietary, and I went to NitroKey because they're open source. I might even vibe code an Android app if I can. I run a white Cobalt server on Proxmox to download shit from X. I don't know what white Cobalt is, to be completely honest. I am a Proxmox enjoyer. You should get Proxmox backup server. That's what you should really be doing. Proxmox backup server is a fucking game changer. My one of my virtual machines took a massive shit and I restored it within seconds. It's the bet. If you run Proxmox backup server should be fuck every other NAS, fuck TrueNAS, fuck everything else. Proxmox backup server is goated. Uh, White. Download. I'm assuming. Oh, media download. That's cool. Yep, running Proxmox. Yeah, as you should. It is goated. Saved me multiple times. Once they get integrate, if they could get integration with like Snowflake, not Snowflake. What's the Storj? Storj. That would be fucking very sexy of them. Very sexy. If they could, because Storj is like a really cool decentralized platform to back up, and all S3 buckets are fucking expensive, like with ingress fees and this fee and that fee and this fee and that fee. So my goal by the end of 2026 is to find a cloud storage provider that isn't dog shit, that allows encrypted backups, that isn't expensive at the same time. If I could hit all three of those without, and decentralized would be nice, but whatever. I'm not gonna be a big arrow chooser. I know Backblaze is an option. If they had Backblaze integration, I would do it immediately because I like Backblaze. I know there's some Backblaze haters out there, but I love them. They have a solid back. I used to use them with a different server like a long time ago, but they were solid. Their pricing is great too. But the NitroKey, man, I just don't get why these fuckers. Because I don't like that YubiKey's like proprietary. That's my only problem with them. That's my hate. These motherfuckers are open source though. And by the way, buying Wasabi isn't bad on pricing for encrypted cloud backups. Yeah, I looked at them. They don't charge ingress fees, do they? My worry is not the upload part. My worry is the download part. Like if I have to restore, the cost just sounds insane. I don't know if they charge ingress fees anymore. Like where I don't know if they charge download fees anymore. Yeah, these guys are super based. I just like hardware. Oh yeah, I have a hardware token. I have the night. I have this one right here. I have their passkey. Amazing, $30. Best thing. The mini's great. Certified. Their problem is they don't have an app for Android. That's their issue. I routed over 13 gigabytes over the I2P network. Based. I'll check out I2P D again. I should. I prefer a hardware token, 100%, not hand over fist. I think hardware. Fuck big tech. That's funny. Run cubes based. I should get this shirt actually. I would say that Solo key was another option I had. I was considering at the time when I was getting away from YubiKey. My problem mainly was that they are proprietary, and I wanted to move to more of an open source option. And that's the great thing about open source. So they have an application when it comes to desktop. That's great. I wanted something Android, like also with Android, which would be again great, but they just don't, which kind of sucks. Maybe it'll change in the future. I'm not entirely sure. I might vibe code it to see if it's worth it, because it can't really be that hard. It just all it is just all it needs to do is make 2FA tokens when the key is inserted. Hey, make 2FA tokens, key insert based on NT. Like, you need to make sure NTP is like obviously working correctly. Once I get my local NTP server like really fucking set up, after some shit goes, I'm done with some shit in the background. I want to get Passbolt. Passbolt is great, but they require a local NTP server. They suggest it like heavily because of something. But this amazing based ass company, I'm a huge fan of them. I love the Nitro key. It's really good. I wish I would have went with the USB option. I kind of like fumbled the bag and went with USB Type A, but I have so many fucking adapters at this point, it doesn't even matter. The funny thing is, you can actually use a YubiKey to aid you in, if you want to go super like sovereign and schizophrenic, you can aid in your own certificate authority. Like, if you want to become your own certificate authority for SSL, you can actually use YubiKey and a true number random TRNG USB and a Raspberry Pi to make a true number generator, and you can actually serve and self-sign and host your own self-signed certificates or something like that. I watched a very long, read a very long guide, watched a really cool video on how to use a YubiKey with a true number random generator to make become your own certificate authority and write your own SSL certificates and serve them, and they will be valid. It's pretty cool. Pretty based, actually. Oh yeah, it uses elliptic curve, our favorite form of encryption algorithm. If you don't like elliptic curve, you suck. Elliptic curve is the based option out there. These guys are pretty expensive though, and if you order anything from Germany, by the way, it takes like 8 months, and you pay more in shipping than you do for their own product. True story, actually. I bought this for like $30. This one right here. The starter. No, I bought this. I bought the passkey. Bought the passkey, and it cost me like $30 at the time, and I paid more in shipping, and it took like about a month to get. And I was like, thank you, Germany. Based, super awesome. If you do, if closed network, if you do want to get a very awesome laptop for CubesOS ever in the future, I can confirm and vouch for what's their name? What's their name? It's gonna fucking bug me. It's in my bag too. Nova Custom. They're amazing. Their customer services their communication was ass. I'm not gonna lie. And I think this is terrible. This is the worst idea ever. But I respect them wanting to contribute to the open source, but no, their fucking laptops are great. In terms of like feel, repairability, they did answer me and fix my problem. But if you're going to do CubesOS, you can't do it on a fucking 2K display. I finally got the display working, which was super awesome. I was going to live stream. I've been running CubesOS on my System 76 on Xprobe with 64 gigs of RAM. Been working as well. It's just a boat anchor, so was considering a framework. So the reason I say check these guys out, this laptop is so light. Framework's great. So the reason I went with them is because Framework still hasn't done Core Boot. These guys have Core Boot out the gate. I got Core Boot working. I heard System 76 was bad with Cubes OS. I heard someone, I believe Nate from the New Oil said System 76 was like very buggy or something. They had a lot of problems. I don't know how true that is, but Nova Custom, awesome hardware, very repairable. They actually cover, like, your warranty is covered if you do your own repairs. They have a good warranty. It's 3 years. Even when they sent out my laptop and I had one fuck up, it literally just something happened, and they answered. They're like, it's still under warranty because it's been less than 3 months. You're still good, and if you do your own repairs, they have tons of guides. Interesting. I haven't had it. Oh, okay. I just heard that's so. I was gonna pick between one of three things. It was gonna be System 76, Nova Custom, or I was gonna go with Star Labs. I wanted a framework, but my problem with the framework is they haven't incorporated Core Boot, and I was like, you guys suck. Please do Core Boot. Come on, somebody get Core Boot to work. But I understand it's not their fault. They are obviously working on something that's much more important, and the fact that they're going to do an open source printer is even more based, if they can. Well, someone brought it up to them, and they said that if there's a need or a demand for it, they would do it. But I think somebody else from Crowd Supply beat them to it. Which, when this hits the market, man, I'm going for it. When this hits the market, if this goes through, I will fund as much money as I'm willing to lose on this. We need an open printer. This needs to happen. If this doesn't happen, I'm gonna kill myself. I've wanted an open source printer since I've looked at a printer. I literally hate printers. Printers are cancer. They suck. DRM sucks in them. I hate every single printer company under the sun. There's no such thing as a good printer company. They all are demons, and they suck the entire life out of me. I've had to fix printers at numerous places I've been to in my work before, and I've wanted to fight every printer manufacturer on the planet. They all are garbage, and I hate them. I hate every single one of them. None of them are good, and they suck. But if we can get an open source printer, I would dump large amounts of money to make it happen. Please make someone make it happen. That'd be awesome. That's it. That's all I want. Open source printer and the circle of life is complete. It's like finding a wife at this point, but on the internet. Open printer would be the shit. Every printer company extorts you with ink, DRM. They also print those digital tracking signals. Yeah, that is a problem. I mean, people have been obviously caught doing crimes doing it. It is an issue. It is a genuine issue. Thermal printers do, I believe, solve this. I don't think thermal printers do that. You're talking about the tracking timestamps that happens on printers, yeah. Which is insane, by the way. And the DRM is insane. There's nothing good about them, and they're unrepairable. And especially printers aren't cheap. It's not like a $50 item. It's not like you're going out and buying you're spending hundreds of dollars, and then ink you're spending hundreds of dollars on top of it. I think it's laser printers or thermal printers that don't do this. Is the pixel, the time stamping on it. I have a thermal printer somewhere for something. Yeah, I hope like the second they hit the funding phase, I'm there. Very rarely I will put money into a product before it gets released. I've been burned before. If Jala comes there we go. Jala would be a very nice. This would be super based. If this comes out, I will. I would spend some money. I would buy it just as a test, because unfortunately, Pine 64 isn't doing the phone thing right now, which is kind of unfortunate, but whatever. This would be very nice. I think they have a headphone jack, if I'm not mistaken, or they don't. The storage, the expandable storage is cool. Sailfish is not good. I've used Sailfish before. Android support dual SIM. FYI, Brave's built-in security can actually break I2P. If Brave tries to look up I2P addresses using Google or Cloud for DNS, it will fail. Brave is trash. I don't think Brave is trash. I think Brave is great. Brave my issue with Brave was pretty much the crypto thing they did, which was kind of gay of them. I don't think it has a headphone jack. Very lame of them, but okay. I just want a headphone jack. Is that too much to ask for in 2026? Please? Yeah, I think you did expandable storage, you know what I mean? The physical privacy switch is kind of fucking silly. They do all this, but not one, and replaceable battery based, but they couldn't do a fucking headphone jack. Isn't that kind of annoying? Doesn't that kind of irritate some people? Like, I don't want to have to choose between charging my phone. I don't like Bluetooth headphones. I carry around a dongle just to use my wired headphones. And I have an MP3 player because I'm a boomer at this point. I think that, like, MP3 players need to make a comeback. Just be a chat and use USB DAC. No need to headphone. Look, it's because I get the choice of charging my phone, and I get the fact that I can listen to my music very. Look, I'm just defending the headphone jack. It's superior. It's just better, and I don't got to carry around two cords, one cord for my charging, and then I don't got to carry around like two different like cords for fucking like listening to music and charging. And are USB DACs even good? Let's see. There's no way that they can be that good. Look, I have an MP3 player, and I prefer it over my phone in terms of like music at any point. Maybe I'm just a boomer, and I like the headphone jack. This could be it. Yes, they're good. $164. No, I'm $35. I'll look at some brands. I'll look at some reviews. There's no way I'm gonna support Bluetooth though. I'm a Bluetooth hater, especially if you play. I do FLAC files. I still buy music. I buy music and then buy in a lot of the artists I buy from. They'll do it in FLAC. No, don't spend that much. Oh yeah, I would never spend like $100. They're probably very cheap. Now, this is where is it? Oh my God. There's a YouTube channel I came across by accident. I'll link it in the Discord. There's a YouTube channel that's looking at making their own MP3 player. But when they come back in production, I need these people to come back in production. That's it. It's the iPod that's open source. And then this is what you need to do, guys. It's been a minute since I've seen this. I need the Tanagara because it's open source and completely fixable. You can change the code if you want. You can. It's really based. And then the Ploopy headphones. You can get these headphones for like $250, all repairable. It has a built-in DAC, I believe. Those are pretty solid headphones. It's got an amplifier programmed and tested. I mean, think of all the cool ASMR videos you could listen to, and everything is you could technically do it all yourself. You can get all the parts yourself. You can 3D print everything yourself. You don't need to. I mean, $250 for some $250 for some quality headphones, very based. And then another, like, I think they were selling this at like another $250. Yeah, $500. You have the most based open source option when it comes to your audio. So you can listen to Coldplay and MSRMommyMilkers.com. And it's all repairable. The repairability is like always a selling point to me. If a company goes out of their way to if a company goes out of their way to give you a product that you can fix yourself, I respect them and I'll buy from them again. I use the Floyo K1 DAC, the FIO KA1 DAC with Audio Technica. Yeah, I love Audio Technica. At R50 open back headphones, listening to FLAC is really nice from a phone. Yeah, Audio Technica is my favorite headphone brand. When people ask me, like, I do need a decent DAC, digital audio player, I just use Pixel, like a Pebble right now. Oh, okay. Oh, I need a decent, a DAP, digital audio player. Yeah. I just my MP3 player surprisingly the MP3 player that I have that I bought like really dirt cheap supports FLAC files and Wave. I do Wave too. Wave is okay. And I'll be honest, I do love the Audio Technicas. When people ask me where to spend my money on my headphones, I always say Audio Technica. They're amazing. I'm glad that you have them. You know, true audio nerds love Audio Technica. They're amazing. Their price is good. They're like, they crush compared to what some of the other brands are at a fraction of the cost sometimes. Some obviously you can get the more expensive ones. But sick fucking headphones by a very based company. We love open source music. Crowd Supply is awesome. Crowd Supply is awesome because I find so much good stuff on there. Like truly, true gems. A colorful e-ink display. My next venture is like definitely an open source house. I just got to get the localized. Like I need to get Home Assistant first. I want to get a Home Assistant. That's like, I don't want to do like a sound system or anything, but my goal is to do Home Assistant and then get as close to like a very like smart home. Remember that movie? What's that movie? Disney will definitely fucking fight me on this. Smart House. Does anyone remember this movie? Oh my god. The Cooper's house is a mind of its own. Wasn't this like supposed to be like a scary movie? Like for like Disney? Like very spooky? I forgot about this movie, but anytime I think about smart homes, this is the first thing I remember. Ah, man, what a great time that was. I forgot about this show. Such an interesting show.
Maybe Dad deserves a little happiness. Pat. Pat, you're alive. No more or less than I have been. I've just finally reached my full potential. I gotta get Sarah. Sarah? She wouldn't know a virtual project.
That seems like the beginning of a porno, to be honest. I know it's kind of weird because it's a Disney show, but it's like a very weird thing for your house to be approaching your son. No cap. That's but I don't remember that part. Um, but I just remember like I was like, damn. When I saw that, I was like, wow, man, I want a smart house too. And then we kind of got that with like Google Nest, and then I was like, don't want that in my house. And I kind of wish in the if again if this funding ever happen if this ever happens, I'll throw money at it. I would love for us to get a Ring doorbell fucking alternative. Like somebody please make it. Bro, she's a hot mom from Married with Children. Wood meme, yeah. She's also the mom from fucking I thought that was the mom from Malcolm in the Middle. Isn't that the same person? They sound like the same person. I might be slightly retarded, but she's the hot mom from Married with Children. Wood. She's mom from Pixar. Wood. Host any website. Darknet ITPD based. Okay, where is that? Wait, I might be confused. Yeah, that was definitely the mom from. You might be. What's the name? Fucking. She definitely was the mom from Wood. She's any Pixar mom, and she's the mom from Dexter. Wood. Oh man, I wish I could do that in real life. What's the name? Malcolm in the Middle. No. Yeah. That has to be the same person. No. Stop it. No, I'm not a bot. Oh man. The way to get back the bot thing is just do this. It's kind of interesting too. Because I'm pretty sure that's who it was. Wow, interesting, guys. I'm getting different results. Oh no, I'm not. Damn. The internet thinks I'm a bot, man. Maybe new Tor circuit. That's why I hate using Tor sometimes, but I prefer it in general because it's like I haven't really seen Married with Children. Oh wait, it's the same person. where the mom from Married with Children is today. Oh wait, she's Leah from fucking. She is Leah from fucking Futurama. Wait, are they all the same person? God damn it. Is it Margaret? Yep, also Futurama. See, hey, it's hilarious. It's a hilarious TV show. What's up, Billy? What up, Bill? I've never like sat down and watched it. I know it's with Al Bundy. He's like, I know the Married with Children, like he's like Al Bundy is like the typical like, oh, I hate having like, I hate existing. Katie Seagal, is she related to? Damn, she looks terrible. Well, 72. What am I saying? I'm being rude. Like, music career. Yeah, I would when she looked like that. In 1989. Oh, she did play in Sons of Anarchy. Holy shit, I forgot about that show. That show sucked towards the end. She played, yeah. Oh my god, I forgot about her. Okay, so she did The Good Mother, Smart. She did do Smart House, so we are talking about the same person. Who'd she play? Miss Flo Spinelli. Wait, she played in fucking Recess? When our mark? Later, Billy. She played in fucking Recess? Oh, the movie, School's Out, yeah. Futurama, Bender's Big Score. Futurama, Bender's Game. Oh, she must have not been like a Jack and the Beanstalk, 2009. I forgot about this movie. Pitch Perfect 2? Bleed for This. Don't know what that is. Tone Hearts. Carousel. Trust. Never seen that. Torn Hearts. Oh, Television. The Falling of Raymond. The Bold Ones. The New Doctors. Man, I forget the 1970s existed. Being an actor back then must have been crazy. Okay, Futurama. Oh, she still plays in Futurama. I forgot Futurama's still going. Tucker. What was Tucker? Why do I remember this? I have a vague memory of that show. Rugrats. She played in Rugrats. That's fucking crazy. Wow, she's played in a lot of shit that I've watched. Not this or that. Smart House. That 70s show. Who'd she play in that 70s show? I have to go back in my core memories for that one. Hyde. Oh, she played that's Hyde's mom. The Green Davis Show. Imagine that. It's American. They aired from January 18th to January 15th of 2002. It made 2 episodes. That's kind of funny. 8 Simple Rules for Dating My Teenage Daughter. Huh. Do you have the app Simple X Chat? Yeah. I think Simple X is great. Higglytown Heroes? The fuck is that? Oh my god. I forgot about that. Yeah, that's a core memory right there. When Angels Come to Town. Lost. Never saw that shit. The Shield. Never saw that. Ghost Whisper. Campus Confidential. Sons of Anarchy. Okay, yeah, I forgot about her. The Simpsons. Didn't know that. Regular Show. That's kind of funny. Regular Show is great when if you smoke weed, or do any form of substance, like you should watch the Regular Show. You'll be like, this is great. Big Bang Theory. The show sucked. Brooklyn Nine-Nine, never saw it. Isn't that with Andy, that one guy from The Lonely Island? Dirty Dancing, Shameless, never saw Shameless, it looks stupid. The Connors, Grand Hotel, Dead to Me. Why do I remember this? No. I watched Dead Like Me. That was the other one. Tell Me Lies. One Piece. The fuck? The Abandons. Never seen that. Wow. Lots of shows that I've seen, though. Very based. Very cool. Tales from the Crypt. Oh, okay. Duckman. Isn't that that weird duck? Okay. Oh. Why do I remember this too? You ever have like shows that you kind of like blocked out and you never saw again? This is one of them. How many? 4 seasons. That's kind of crazy. I should go back and see if that. I should go back and like. Everyone should go back and like see if like this is real. And see if you still remember. All right, now that I've gotten off track, because my ADHD was kicked in and going super fast, which is pretty average. And I'm enjoying the beer and the nostalgia. Okay, so like definitely when you download applications from the it's so funny to go from haha funny to super haha serious. That's the goal. So when you're downloading applications from the internet and you are trying to assess if they're like the right application, how the applications work, you kind of should do these things because it ensures that you're getting the applications from a very secure source. Why does this matter? Well, if you download a clone of, let's say, YouTube, and it says YouTube and it has YouTube logo, but it's not YouTube, you potentially are putting yourself at risk at handing over your information, getting a man-in-the-middle attack maybe, or downloading an application that's doing something that it says it's going to do, but it's really being malicious in the background. This is kind of like the problem with places like F-Droid, and still, even though apparently it's getting better, I don't know how true that is. This is also the problem with the Aurora Store because they don't do any form of source integrity checking when you are getting your applications from the source. This is from people in the Graphene OS community. This is from developers that people have said that like, hey, there are these looming problems and they do exist. And that is something that you should probably take into account when you're downloading apps. Now, is there a private way of obtaining like a Google Play service account privately? Yes, absolutely. So the only information that the Play Store grabs when you install it, say it via Graphene OS, is the device identifier, aka it's running on a Pixel. This is probably for analytical data, like how many applications do we have downloaded on Motorola, how many applications we have downloaded on Google, like Pixel devices, etc., 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 etc. And these are all probably used to make sure that some users maybe have a good experience, whatever. Then it gets your IP address. That makes the most sense because it's going to grab it and be like, okay, this IP address is grabbing this file and it's pulling it down here. That's my general assumption. Beyond that, it's nothing. So if you want a good secure source to get your applications and making sure that you get timely updates, that should be your goal in general, especially banking apps, etc., that are used on the Graphene OS ecosystem, especially because it doesn't. Most apps will work without the Play services installed. That's kind of the point, because a lot of applications aren't hard dependent on the Google Play services. But if you want your banking apps to work, etc., and you want to make sure you're getting a trusted source, and you want to make sure you're getting timely updates, this is important and crucial to understand, that it's not getting any more information, especially on Graphene OS, than it is if it were to be on a different vendor for the Google Play services in general. It kind of works with it. It's a sandboxed layer that makes it kind of work with itself, if that kind of makes sense. Beyond the technical part, you are not only making sure that you're getting verified applications, you are strengthening the fact that you're getting secured sourced applications, which you might not get anywhere else. Is that a problem? Sure. Should people vet? Sure. But that's not really the point. Not everyone's going to go out and vet the signatures of every single application that they download. They're not going to vet that they're getting it from a secure, trusted source. So you kind of are taking it like with a grain of salt. Is Google getting like this information? Sure. But it could be done with a VPN. It could be done on identifier that has no correlation to you. You know, choose your battles at the end of the day. Versus you downloading a malicious application that will leak all your data or steal it is probably, the better option. So let's understand signing your app. Android requires that all APKs be digitally signed with certificate before they are installed on a device or updated when releasing using Android app bundles. You need to sign your app bundle with an upload key before uploading it to the Play console, and the Play app signing takes care of the rest. For apps distributing using APKs on the Play Store or other stores, you must manually sign your APKs for upload. This page guides you through some of the important concepts related to app signing and security, how to sign your app for release to Google Play using the Android Studio, and how to configure the app Play signing. This might matter in the grand scheme of things, especially if you're getting an application from maybe a single developer that is releasing it on the application store. This is why it takes time when you release your app. So I'm testing Monero 1, which is a Monero app that I believe will be a good competition to the Monero wallet applications. He had to wait for verification for Google to release, allow him to release the application on the market. That's a good thing. It means that some people can't just willy-nilly just upload applications to the Play Store without verifying and vetting that these aren't doing anything that they're not supposed to do. Now, I don't agree with Google's take on the fact that they want to do like developer ID. That's very lame. And the good thing about if you run Graphene OS is you do not have to worry about not being able to sideload, because we are not verified. Though, if you run like something like Obtainium and you do an app verifier along with a Crescent, etc., you are taking a risk that you could be missing something. You could be potentially getting the wrong APK, whatever it may be, or you might not get timely critical security updates. That's something to take into account. So I check Obtainium daily. In my case of order, I get applications this way. I get it either A, from the Crescent Store first, B, the Play Store second, or Obtainium, and then F-Droid the last. I do not use Aurora. I would not use Aurora after people explained it very simply that Aurora does not, you don't know where they're getting the source from. You don't know how they're getting the source from. If I could show the screenshots, I would. It's really not that simple. But from what I understand, is the Aurora Store is not a good trusted source, and there is no way to get trusted source applications from them at all. They're pretty much, in my opinion, should be untrusted. So, I'm going to grab some water and then we will go deeper into it. We're going to understand code signing a little bit more, and then we'll jump back into why it's important on the Android ecosystem. Whew. Do. Okay. So code signing is the process of digitally signing executables and scripts to confirm the software authored and guarantee that the code has not been altered or corrupted since it was signed. The process employs the use of cryptographic hashes to validate the authenticity and integrity. Code signing was invented in 1995 by Michael Doyle as a part of the ELOS WebWish browser plugin, which enabled the use of public key cryptography to sign downloadable web app program code using a secret key. So the plugin code interpreter could use then the corresponding public key to authenticate the code before allowing access to the code's interpret's APIs. That's fucking insanely cool for the fact that this was done back in 1995. Code signing can be provided several valuable features. The most common of code signing is to provide security when deploying in some programming languages. It can also be used to help prevent namespace conflicts. Almost every code signing implementation will provide some sort of digital signature mechanism to verify the identity of the author or the build system and checksum to verify that the object was not modified. It can also be used to provide versioning information about object or store other metadata as an object. This means that you know that this code was sent out by Michael Doyle in order to use the application. If the signature doesn't match, if the verification doesn't match the signature or anything, then you might have downloaded malware or like something malicious, or it's been modified in between. Things to think about, especially when you're putting this stuff on your machine that has maybe unfederated access that you don't want it to. Providing security. Many code signing implementations will provide a way to sign the code using a system involving a pair of keys, one public, one private. Similar to the process of employing TLS or SSH, for example, in the case of .NET, the developer uses a private key to sign their libraries or executables each time they build. This will be unique to the developer or the group, sometimes per application or object. The developer can either generate this key on their own or obtain one from a Trusted Certificate Authority, a CA. Code signing is particularly valuable for distribute environments where the source of given piece of code may not immediately be evident. For example, Java applets, ActiveX controls, and other active web and browser script code. Other important usage is to safely provide updates and patches to existing software. Windows, Mac OS, and most Linux distributions provide updates using code signing to ensure that it's not possible for others to maliciously distribute code via the patch system. It allows the receiving operating system to verify that the code update is legitimate, even if the updates was delivered by a third party or physical media. So this makes sure that your updates are signed and based, which is kind of awesome, and it's trusted identification using certificate authorities. So Play app signing uses two keys, the app signing key and the upload key, which are described in further detail in the section about key and key stores. You keep the upload key and use it to sign your apps, to upload for the Google Play Store. Google uses the upload certificate to verify your identity and sign your APKs with your app signing key for distribution shown in Figure 1. Developer upload key, app signed with upload key. Google, app signing key. App signed with app signing key. User. Important. If you want to use the same signing key across multiple stores, make sure you provide your own signing key when you configure the Play Store app signing instead of having Google generate one for you. Your keys are stored in the same infrastructure that Google uses to store its own keys. Were they provided by a Google's key management service? You can learn more about Google's technical infrastructure reading Google Cloud Security white papers. When you use the Play app signing, if you lose your upload key or if it's compromised, you can request and upload key reset in the Play console because your app signing key is secured by Google. You can continue to upload new versions of the app as updates as the original app, but if you change the upload keys to learn more, reset a lost or compromised private key, upload key, is something that you probably don't want to get compromised or lost. Remember, the keys are the most important. Key store and key certificates. Java key stores, JKS, or a key store is a binary file that serves as a repository and of certificates and private keys. A public key certificate file is known as a digital certificate or identity certificate contains the public key of the private key pair as well as some other metadata identifying the owner, for example, name and location, who holds the corresponding private key. The following are different types of keys you should understand. App signing key. This key is used to sign APKs that are installed on a user's device. As a part of Android's secure update model, the signing key never changes during the lifetime of your app. The app signing key is private and must be kept a secret. You can, however, share the certificate that is generated using your app signing key. Upload key. This key you use to sign the app bundle or APK before you upload it. For app signing with Google Play, you must keep the upload key a secret. However, you can share the certificate as generated using your upload key. You may generate an upload key one of the following ways. If you choose Google to generate this app signing key for you when you opt in, the key you use to sign your app release is designated as your upload key. If you provide app signing key to Google when opting in for your new existing app, then you have the option to generate a new upload key during or the after opting in for increased security. If you do not generate a new upload key and you continue to use the app signing key as your upload key to sign each release, you must sign all of it with your keys. You can download the certificate for the app signing key and an upload key from the release setup app signing page and Play console. This is used to register public keys with API providers. It is intended to be shared and does not contain your private key. I think there's something on someone said like on GitHub, like there's a lot of people that expose their keys by accident. Like you just gotta look for it. Like it's very common. Wow, lots of signing in public and private keys. Things that people should become familiar with, and like how to verify apps. Maybe I'll do a tutorial at some point in the future so that other people can see how to vet and verify applications and how to make sure that you're getting it from a trusted source. But you can kind of bypass that by making sure that you use verified apps from the Play Store, like Facebook, Google, whatever, to make sure that you are getting it not only from a trusted source, but that you are getting it at your pretty much your updates in a timely manner. These are very important things to make sure that you take and maintain and take care of, because you don't want out of date apps, especially if you got sensitive documents or things on your phone, and that is kind of like your main use case in general. That's why you want to make sure you're always doing your updates. I appreciate everyone coming by and commenting, because that makes YouTube think that I am a person of interest and I love all their policies and I hate nothing about them. I'm a real person, not a bot. That's their view of me, and I want to continue that. Make sure that you comment below what's your favorite form of tree. Everyone has a favorite tree. That is going to be the engagement today. I appreciate everyone stopping by. Make sure that you do walk your